everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to my How to Become a Minimalist series. So you definitely want to hit that subscribe button because this is going to be a very long series. I have reached out to a bunch of people on Facebook to find out, what are the things that you need help with when you're becoming a minimalist. And so I'm going to be building all my videos based on what everyone has told me, plus also with my own experiences. So this first one is just going to be a very broad view of how to get started as a minimalist. And then throughout the weeks, I will be going and breaking everything down even deeper to show you exactly how to handle everything with decluttering. So if I am telling you that you need to sell your items in this video, then I will be making a video on how to sell your items or how to donate your items or where to donate your items and such like that. So definitely hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and stay tuned for all those future videos. Let's go ahead and get started with my top 10 tips. The first thing that you need to do if you want to become a minimalist is to actually ask yourself why. I know that a lot of people usually ask you to do this kind of stuff, but it is very, very important for you to write down what your why is. Why do you want to become a minimalist? Why do you want to start decluttering? I will be making a video of how to even determine your why if you have no clue how to even get started. So what is your biggest problem in your life or in your household right now? That is going to be where you want to start at, because if you start on something that you don't actually really care about decluttering, you're not going to have that great feeling of getting something done. Let's pick what you want to minimize first. Do you want to minimize an actual room? Is there a junk drawer in your house that really irritates you when you pull it out and you just see all that stuff inside of it? Do you need to minimize your clothes because no matter what, you just have tons of clothes, you don't fit into any of them, you don't like any of them, and you literally have like 3 outfits that you are actually comfortable and you just wear them over and over again? You need to start decluttering your email inbox. That's actually something great to do at the very first of the year, and I did mine right before January hit, and it just made me feel so much more organized without having to go into my email inbox and seeing all this junk mail and all this stuff that I don't want. You could always start with your holiday decorations. Since it is just after the holidays, instead of putting away all the decorations like you normally do, you can go through them, and if you haven't used those decorations in a while, get rid of them by selling or donating, or give them to a friend who might be able to use them instead. Or are you starting a new diet and you want to declutter your fridge first? That's also a great way because you're not actually getting rid of actual objects, but a lot of times our kitchen fridge is filled, even our pantry is filled with just things that we're not using or things that are old. And especially if you're starting a new diet, that is a great time to do that, is to declutter your fridge. Now this all depends upon how you are, but if you are a person that you like to get big things done and you have a lot of time to complete these big goals, go ahead and do it. If you want to declutter a whole room and that's all you're going to do for the next couple days, then if that's who you are, then that's fine. That's kind of how I like to work, is if I decide that I'm going to declutter something or do something or organize something, I usually have to get it all done. So I will make a day where I schedule nothing else and I will completely reorganize whatever it is that I'm reorganizing. But if that's not who you are, that's fine too, because other people work really well with doing small tasks, working up into a big task. So if that's who you are and you only have an hour a day, then that's how you're going to want to work. So that's how you can start decluttering, is just little by little, maybe an hour a day, 30 minutes a day, and make a plan of what you're going to do in that specific time frame. If you don't have a lot of time to declutter and you only have an hour worth each day, make sure you set a timer. Setting a timer is a great way to kind of actually declutter your mind from all the other worries that you have and literally just focus on the organization or the decluttering that you're actually doing. If you know that you have an hour on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to declutter, make sure that you're not setting your timer and then going off and doing other things. Literally for that hour or 30 minutes or 45 minutes or however much time you have, focus on going through a drawer or closet and doing as much as you can for that hour. Now, you're going to want to set 4 different piles. You're going to have a keep pile, a maybe pile, a sell donate pile, and then a trash pile. The reason that I do a maybe pile is because even for myself, it might be really hard to decide whether you want to keep or get rid of a certain item. And putting it in the maybe pile will make it so that you can see if you can live without that item without actually physically getting rid of it. But then also, instead of putting it in your keep pile and you have so much stuff, it makes it so that you don't have to re-go through all your keep items all the time. So say for instance that I have a waffle iron and I only have 1 waffle iron, but I'm not exactly sure if I want to keep it because I've only used it once a year, but I'm not sure if I want to get rid of it because it would actually be great if I started, making waffles more often. So I would put it in the maybe pile, and then after 3 to 6 months, depending upon how often you're decluttering your stuff, you can go through it again and think, did I actually use this waffle iron, or did I pull it back out because I needed it for something? And if you haven't, that's usually a good reason for you to actually then sell or donate that said item. If you spend all day long being torn about whether or not you should keep or get rid of your items, you're gonna be way less productive. That way, if it doesn't come right away whether you should keep it or get rid of it, throw it in the maybe pile. That way you can think about it later throughout the months. If you have a room in the house that could be your catch-all, that's a great spot for you to put stuff so that you don't get overwhelmed. No one wants to start, decluttering their kitchen an hour every night and then just have stuff all over the place and then you can't cook your food. Put all your maybe and sell and donate bins into that room. That way you can worry about what you're going to do with those later. You can throw away your trash and you can put your keep items back where they're supposed to go in your house. Now you can either move on to the next area, or you can stop and use that time to go through your selling and donating items. Now, if you are one of those that only has an hour worth of time, then you would be using that hour to maybe list your items on eBay or Craigslist, or taking them to Goodwill, or even I've put things on Facebook before. If you want to just get rid of it and people will come pick it up, you could put a free sign out at your driveway. I do have a video about selling your items and I will link it up above, but I will be making a video more about donating and even going more into depth about selling your items. So for now, if that's something that is too hard to think about, just keep on moving along with the decluttering and putting all your selling and donating items into that room. That way you can work on it all at once at a different time. During your time of decluttering, make sure that you make new rules for the house. You do not want to bring in any more items unless they're absolutely necessary, such as food or, shampoos and things that you use for cosmetics. Make sure before you're bringing anything in, you need to ask yourself if you already have that said item. You definitely don't want to have more than one item if you could use the item that you already have. If you do have to bring in a new item, see if there's an item that you can actually get rid of. That way you're not always bringing in new things, but you're actually, if you bring in a new thing, you get rid of an old thing and you're not cluttering your house again. When I decide to get rid of an item, I always think, have I used this item recently? Have I used it this year? How many times have I used it this year? Have I used it in the last 6 months? Do I even ever think about this item, or did I forget I even owned it? If I've been able to live without using this item for all those months, or if I don't even remember that I have it, do I really need this item, or could I get rid of it? Does the item bring you joy? Maybe you really like to read books, and every time that you get a new book, that really brings you joy. If that's something like that, then don't worry about decluttering. You can either decide that you want to declutter in the future, but for right now, if something makes you really happy, don't get rid of it. As for me, I decided that I actually like the extra space and I can get a lot of books at the library, so I just started getting books at the library. Although if I do buy a book, I usually will read it and then I can sell it right afterwards. Everyone's version of minimalism is different. Some people, they want to travel the world and backpack, so literally all they're going to have is everything that fits in their bags to take along with them. And others just want to save space so that they can maybe get something else. Maybe you want less to clean, or you want to move to a smaller house so that you have more money to go on other adventures. It doesn't matter. Just go back to your why and think about why you as a person want to declutter and become a minimalist. If you buy things to make yourself feel better, see if you can use experiences instead. So if you're not having a good day, maybe you could go out and do a wine tasting with your girlfriends, or go see a movie with your significant other. See if you can spend your money on actual experiences or learning a new skill and doing something fun, instead of just going out and buying something for your house that you know eventually you're not gonna want anymore, or it doesn't bring you joy. I hope that you enjoyed these top tips of how to become a minimalist. Please stay tuned for more videos on this series. Thank you for watching. Bye.